Anthony Weiner was sentenced to 21 months in federal prison on Monday after he admitted to exchanging sexually charged messages with a 15-year-old girl. The disgraced former congressman was also fined $10,000 and was given 3 years supervised release for asking the high schooler to strip naked and touch herself for him on Skype and Snapchat. The 53-year-old was still wearing his wedding band after he was seen heading to court from the apartment he shares with wife Huma Abedin, who is divorcing him. His sexting relationship with the underage girl was first revealed by DailyMail.com last September, and immediately prompted a federal investigation. The New York City judge ordered Weiner to surrender himself by 2 p.m. on November 6 to begin serving his lengthy sentence. Weiner had shown a dangerous level of denial and lack of self-control that could put other teenagers at risk, prosecutors had said earlier. The case led the FBI to reopen its probe into Hillary Clinton's private email server after investigators found messages between Clinton and Weiner's wife on the former congressman's laptop. Scroll down for video. He said he was a very sick man for a very long time. He asked to be spared from prison as his parents sat in the courtroom, but his estranged wife wasn't present. The government had urged the judge to put Weiner's claims of a therapeutic awakening in a context of a man who made similar claims after embarrassing, widely publicized interactions with adult women in the past. This is not merely a sexting case, prosecutors wrote. The defendant did far more than exchange typed words on a lifeless cell phone screen with a faceless stranger. With full knowledge that he was communicating with a real 15-year-old girl, the defendant asked her to engage in sexually explicit conduct via Skype and Snapchat, where her body was on display, and where she was asked to sexually perform for him. That offense, transmitting obscenity to a minor to induce her to engage in sexually explicit conduct by video chat and photo, is far from mere sexting. Weiner's criminal conduct was very serious, and the sentence imposed should reflect that seriousness. The document reveals that Weiner has acknowledged an interest in legal, adult, teen-themed pornography. It said that his submission to the court that he deserves a lighter sentence because the minor victim's age meant nothing to him rings hollow. Weiner, 53, said in a submission that he is undergoing treatment and is profoundly sorry for subjecting the North Carolina high school student to what his lawyers called his deep sickness. Prosecutors attacked some of Weiner's arguments for seeking leniency and noted his full awareness that what he was doing was a crime, citing his co-sponsorship in January 2007 of a bill to require sex offenders to register their email and instant message addresses with the National Sex Offender Registry. While the government does not contend that Weiner engaged in inappropriate sexual exchanges with other minors or that he is a pedophile, his professed ambivalence toward the minor victim's age is belied by the defendant's own statements to the court-appointed evaluator during his evaluation. They said. Prosecutors said Weiner, who unsuccessfully ran for mayor in 2005 and 2013, acknowledged to the evaluator an interest in legal, adult, teen-themed pornography. The government said Weiner's widely reported prior scandals were not criminal in nature and did not involve minors but should be considered at sentencing because they reveal a familiar pattern. He initially denied his conduct. He suffered personal and professional consequences. He publicly apologized and claimed reform. Yet, he has, on multiple occasions, continued to engage in the very conduct he swore off, progressing from that which is self-destructive to that which is also destructive to a teenage girl, prosecutors said. They added, Weiner's demonstrated history of professed, yet failed, reform make it difficult to rely on his present claim of self-awareness and transformation. Defense lawyers had portrayed the girl as an aggressor, saying she wanted to generate material for a book and possibly influence the presidential election. Prosecutors responded that Weiner should be sentenced for what he did, and the motives of the victim should not influence his punishment. As part of a plea bargain, Weiner has agreed not to appeal any sentence between 21 and 27 months. Prosecutors said the sentence should fall within that span, and they noted that probation department authorities had recommended a 27-month prison term. But last week his lawyers submitted a huge file calling for him to be spared jail. It included claims that he has finally acknowledged the illness which made him a serial sexter, and a plea from his wife, Huma Abedin, not to have their son hurt by his sentence. He finally came clean about the extent and scale of his sexting habit, but came close.